this is that guy 781. I'm going to do a overview review of one of my other carry pistols, as promised. Alright, first off, we're going to go over the gun. Clearly, you know by now that the gun is the KEL TEC PF9, which is obviously chambered at 9mm, hence the name. And we're going to go over over a couple of things. First, we're going to go over the technical specifications, and then we're going to go over the field strip. And then we're going to speak a little bit about philosophy as to why I have the KEL TEC PF9 and why I actually traded away a Ruger LCP for it. Alright, here we go. As stated, the gun's chambered in 9mm. It's 12.7 ounces. The magazine loaded is 5.5 ounces. Its length is 5.85, height 4.3, width 0.88 inches. Barrel length is 3.1, magazine capacity 7+1. The trigger pull is 5 pounds, and that's pretty much a reference standard for me as far as the trigger pull. KEL TEC PF9 is also considered one of the lightest, the lightest and flattest 9mm out there. And to me, I think it's those specifications are pretty good for a very nice size for a carry pistol. Now let's go and get into the field strip. Now we're going to safety check the gun. Mag is empty. Gun's empty. Alright, now on the gun, you'll notice there's a pin there. Now how you take down the gun is you're going to lock the slide back like so. And you'll see, actually, let's unlock that. You'll see that there's a groove there. Well, that groove, after you lock it back, is going to be right above that takedown pin. So what you're going to do, and you don't really need a tool for this, is just pull that pin out, release the slide, pull it forward. The contents come out. The slide, your recoil spring guide rod, and your 3.1-inch barrel. Your gun's disassembled for field stripping. You can clean it and do what you do in the field strip. Obviously, cleaning is going to be one of those things. Alright, to reassemble the gun, you're going to take your barrel, you're going to place that back in the slide. Then you're going to take your guide rod recoil spring. Make sure the guide rod actually rests in that little detent there. You actually should put the spring on the end of the barrel first. Then make sure the base of the recoil spring rests in that little detent there. Then you're going to take your slide, place it back on the frame. You're going to put it in that lock back position, the same position you started at, to take down the gun. You're going to take your pin, make sure it's right side up. Push it through, and you're going to hear a click once it's in there, right? Heard that? That's that affirmative click to let me know it's in. I'm going to pull take the slider release down, and there we go. Now the gun is back together. Now, why I purchased the PF9 and why I traded away my LCP? Well, the LCP had a 7-round capacity in total with 1 in the pipe. This one has an 8-round capacity in total with 1 in the pipe. It's a 9mm as opposed to a 380, which means you can find the ammo, you can buy the ammo, and it has a better takedown percentage than the 380. Also, the gun is a bit larger. Now, I have larger hands. When I bought the LCP, it was strictly for obviously concealment purposes. But me having such large hands and the gun being as small as it was, it became more difficult for me to shoot it than I thought it'd be. And while it didn't jam or anything on me, it just wasn't a good feel for me. Me having such large hands and having such a small gun, it just didn't feel right. Now the PF9 is still a small gun, but of course the LCP is going to be a lot smaller. Also, now the PF9 does have quite a bit of features. It does have actually adjustable sights for windage, and the sights are actually usable. Now my sights are quite a bit beat up, and it's a carry gun. This gun's been dropped, it's been picked up, the finish has been scratched, the frame has some scratches on it. It's a carry gun. I'm not worried about it looking all cute as long as it functions and functions well. Now some people may say the outside of my gun looks like crap, but that feed ramp right there is nice and polished, and it'll feed even already fired casings, which I don't do like frequently, but it does. Just know that it does. I'm not trying to ruin the feed ramp, but I keep the internals of my gun beautifully clean, as opposed to worrying too much about the cosmetics. After all, if I have to pull it, it should be the last thing you see anyway. But not only does it offer actual usable sights, it also offers a rail. Now, why I don't utilize the rail is because it's a carry gun. I think having a lighter laser is just going to snag on other things, and it's too much not necessary. To me, that's really not necessary for a carry gun, because this is going to be drawn and fired, being a carry gun. Now, the gun is double action only, so you don't. I mean, the hammer's enclosed. There's not going to be any single action shooting going on here. And also want to compare the gun to my other carry gun, which is the Glock 26. You can clearly notice that the PF9 is a lot smaller, well, per se slimmer than the Glock 26. They're about the same height. Trigger pull's actually about the same as far as weight, but the PF9 is also a bit shorter. Again, the Glock was also safety checked as well. Always safe here on that guy 781's channel. Alright, now how I carry the gun is a variety of ways. Usually it's with this holster. It's an Uncle Mike size, I think 0. So that's either a 0 or a D. I'm pretty sure it's a 0. But usually carry it in the waistband at the 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock position, or sometimes even 1 o'clock, depending on how I'm dressed. Or if I'm wearing like cargo pants or something like that, I'll carry it with the, actually another Uncle Mike's product, a size 4 pocket holster, which I think this whole pocket holster is a little small for this gun, but that's what they recommend. But it works. When it's in the cargo pants, it doesn't move as long as it's not really baggy cargo pants. It'll tend to do that, but as long as you have pants that fit appropriately, it should be okay. Sometimes I'll carry it in the front pocket if I'm wearing jeans that have a deep enough pocket. Now, speaking to the gun's accuracy, I'm a lot more accurate with this gun than I was with my LCP. Not quite as accurate as I am with the Glock. And that can be attributed to the way the Glock is made and the trigger staging, and the sights on the Glock are a little bit better, and they're a little bit well, obviously they're a lot brighter because the ones on the PF9 on my PF9 are quite used up and quite used very frequently. Now, the texturing on the frame is actually very useful on the PF9. These checkers, they actually offer some pretty good grip, and while you only get a 2-finger grip if you have large hands on the PF9, it still works very well. I also have a mag that has a finger extension on it that's more frequently used. But I guess that's pretty much all for the review. I mean, I pretty much said what I'd like to say. I mean, the PF9 compared to the Glock, I mean, these are my 2 carry weapons. PF9 is, it is a good lightweight option over some other guns. I'd highly recommend getting the PF9 over a 380 platform. And if you can't afford the $450 to $500+ Glock, spend $250 and get you a PF9. And if you only have one gun to get, I'd recommend, if you had a price point of $500 or if your price point was $300, I think both of these guns can make very good home defense weapons as well as carry concealed weapons. And this is that guy 781 signing out with another video. So please subscribe for more content. Thank you for watching.